Kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Surprise in Arizona. Hope you're all having a super fantastic sparkling day. Welcome to Before the Dirt Nap podcast number 1933, Finish It Friday, Genealogy Tips. And I am sorry for the starts and the stops, but this thing is doing something weird tonight. I don't know what's going on, because usually when I hit the go live button, I get the screen come up where I can put the description in for the video, and then I click another button, and then I have to click another button, and then we go live. Now I hit the go live button and I went straight to live, and I couldn't update the description or anything. So I have to go back and do that and figure out what's going on. So here we are. It's Friday. It's Finish It Friday. So what things can we do with genealogy for a Finish It Friday? That's a very good question. I'm glad you asked. So yeah, that just kind of irks me when they change a system without telling you that they've changed the system. That just irks me. Anyway, so some of the things you can do on your genealogy side of things with your family tree research and things for Finish It Friday is you can go through. Oh, I should have grabbed my. Where's my? Oh, it's over there. It's out of reach. Is review your research notes. Take a moment to go through your research notes from the week. Are there any gaps or areas that need further clarification? And then you can organize your findings. Organizing your findings can give you a clear path forward. So what you can do when you go through your let's try that again. What you can do when you review your research notes, can't talk, don't know what's going on, is you can also start making a list of where are the gaps. Use post-it notes. Use oh, do I have them here? I do. I like these post-it notes with the lines on them. They're really cool with the lines on them, and so I like these post-it notes because they've got lines on them, stickies up the top here, but I can write a list on here, like if I'm going through research notes, or I just get the regular, the regular size post-it notes, or I don't have any. Zeffie, why do I not have flags in here? Then you've got the little square ones where you can actually like use them as tabs down the side of the page in your notes, to help you quickly find them. I also use index cards as well. I use a lot of different things. Anything that will help me do what needs to be done. And then I can find where the gaps are, what excuse me. Where are the gaps? Where do I need to go back and fill in the gaps with the research for the following week? It could be that project is going to get put aside for a while. So that's another good reason to go through and research notes. There goes that flying thing again. The flying light. We've got angels with us. I love the angels. Totally thrown me off track. Use different color post-it notes that mean different things as well. So I color code everything. I have my highlighters, all different colors. I've got different color pens to match. I have different colored post-it notes all around the place. I was unpacking a crate the other day. I found my index cards. I can't show you what's on the front of this one. It's really cool, but they're ideas that I use for ideas a lot. So when you're going through your notes and everything, mark down where the gaps are. Mark down some thoughts and ideas as well, because it could be that you're putting that project to the side for a while you concentrate on another part of the family tree. If you're doing your own, as a professional genealogist, there's times I have to take a project and put it to the side because I need a break from that project. Sometimes you need to have a mental break from a project. And so being able to go through with the Post-its and the index cards and make notes and put them in there to help as I go through the notes each week, to put what I need to do next, where I need to go next, the research I need to do, just put down some thoughts about things as well. I'll even go into Ancestry and put notes next to the ancestors that we're working on. But I also like to have the paper copy. I'm a pen and paper girl. Some people, it's fine. They have their own electronic system for this. I pen and paper everything. Post-it notes up the way. I was going to show you my research book. I have a specific composition type book that I use. It's spiral bound, and the way it's laid out is really handy for me. It's got a margin, a nice wide margin that's clean, no lines on it. You got the line page, and then at the top you can put who the ancestor is. It's got little places that you can put notes up the top. And for me, it works extremely well. And then I can quickly go in there each time and says, okay, this is where I left off, and this is where I need to pick up next time. So next time next research time, I need to do blah, 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 blah. And it gets written on one of these. I also have different color ones of these as well. It needs to get written on one of these. And so when I go back, I know exactly where I am and what I need to do to get started, instead of going through my notes at that point going, well, where the heck do I start this time? So going through your research notes at the end of the week is really, really good, because then it helps set you up for the following week. Also, the other thing that you want to do on Finish It Friday is go through and update your family tree. Add in the new information that you've discovered throughout the week in the family tree, whether it's new records, documents, insights. Keeping your tree up to date helps track progress and prevents duplication of work. Yes, when I'm reviewing the research notes and the post-its come in handy, yes, I will go through and update the tree as well. I use their notes. They've got different tags that you can use for different things within Ancestry. So I make use of those as well. But I will always refer to my pen and paper notes first, so I know exactly where I am in the tree. You could tackle a small task. Pick one small manageable task you've been avoiding, whether it's organizing your files, adding citations to your sources, and you add. And here's a really good thing on citations. Add them as you go, because there's nothing worse than going back through your notes and going, oh, where did I find that? I have to put the citation in for that because I don't know where I found it. If you do the citations as you go, citing your sources, it makes it so much easier. Or you could review a single ancestor profile. Completing it can give you a sense of accomplishment and motivate you to take on larger tasks at another date. Double check your sources. Go back to key records that you've used this week and double check the sources. Make sure that, if I put the citation in my work, does it take me to the actual record that I'm referring to, or does it take me somewhere else? So just double check your sources. Ensure all that your citations are accurate, and make sure you've considered alternative sources or interpretations for key facts. The other thing that you can do when you're in there, if you use Goldie May, it will track everything for you. When you go from one site to another, it tracks it down the side. I really have to see if I can get, I think it's Richard, see if I can get him to come on one time so he can do a run through on Goldie May so you can see how amazing that program is. Create a research log. If you don't already have one, start a research log today. It helps keep track of what you've looked at, what you've found, what still needs attention, so you don't have to waste time revisiting the same sources. Again, a research log I keep as I go. If I'm using Goldie May, it's got it right in there. So I can go back and see, did I go and visit it? Yep, I went and visited. And look over here. Yep, I visited that site, so I don't need to go to that one again. At a later date, I may go back like six months or a year later. I might go back to that site because they may have more records available, and the information that I was trying to source from that site last time that wasn't available may be available now. So keep that research log so you know where you've been, whether you found anything or not. If you found the knots, then go back at a later time and see if they've updated their records that may now include that information. Finish a pending record search. So focus on one unfinished search you've been working on, whether it's tracking down a birth certificate, confirming a marriage, wrapping up the search will give you closure to move the project forward. It's just taking one task. You may have, like when I'm doing DNA matches and things, and I'm trying to figure out what the connection, how we are connected. Because remember, DNA shows that we are connected by blood. Genealogy shows how you are related. Yes, the centimorgans, there are charts out there that will show you with the centimorgans in common, then you're likely to have this kind of relationship with the person. But don't take that as gospel, because they can be wrong. As I have proven many times in my research, that says maternal, it's on the paternal side, and vice versa. It says it's third cousin, it's actually sixth cousin, or something completely different. Or it's my first cousin and it's my aunt. It's really my aunt. So there's some of those things they're just there to give you an idea. And for me, I just use them as a guideline to like how many generations am I going to have to search? So take that one thing. Are you trying to track down a birth certificate or confirming a marriage, trying to find a death certificate? Just take that one pending record search and go see if you can finish it. Follow up on leads. If you've received tips or suggestions from other researchers or distant relatives, follow up on them today. Even if it seems small, these leads can sometimes uncover major breakthroughs. Yes, I have had that happen. I have second cousins that I communicate with every now and again because we're all trying to find the same guy in our tree. It's my third great-grandfather. I think the third or fourth great-grandfather. We know that he was around in the 1851 census. We know that by 1855 he was not around. In fact, we can even narrow that down even further because we go back to when his wife got remarried. And so on her wedding, between her wedding date and the date of the 1851 census, something happened to him in that time. So we do have a narrow search field window of time to go and see if we can find a record. Were they divorced, or did he was he declared dead because he may have been on one of his trips overseas sourcing the gems and the jewels and things, and his ship may have gone down. It could be he died after he got back home again. We don't know. So we're busy looking for that and helping. And when you're teaming up with other family members and things to try and find that information, it makes it more fun. Makes it funner. You get to have talks with them, and you talk about what did you discover? Oh, where did you discover? Oh, where did you find that? Oh, that's really cool information. Oh, no, it doesn't. And then you can all go in there and have a look, and you've got 3 pairs, you've got 3 or 4 or 5 pairs of eyes, depending how many people you're talking with, that are looking for that same information. And you say, hey, I found this. What do you think? And they can go in and have a look. Like when I found the baptismal records, I said, hey, I found the baptismal records. Check the one that's below. Here's William Hick Coleman Price. Here's his baptismal thing. It had his birth date written on there as well. I said, but check the entry below. It's the same mother. And they came back, and they went off and took that piece of information and did their own research to prove that was him as well. So you don't just take the other person's word for, oh, look, I found it, here it is. And you go, oh, great, and put it in your tree. You do your due diligence and you go check it, because there could be, as I have found out many, many, many times, that there was 2 people with the same name around that time, but which one's the right one? So you got to do just a little more research. Is that the actual one that we're looking for, or is it somebody who's different? Actually, no, it was William Henry Price we were looking for. William Henry Morris Price. No, it was William Henry Morris Price. That was my third great-grandfather. His father was William Henry Price. He was given Morris was his mother's maiden name. That's how we made that connection. So follow up on leads from other researchers. If you've got people who are researching information for you in a different area where you have to have the boots on the ground, you can't research it online, you need to be there in person, check in with those people who are doing that research for you to say, hey, have you got any updates? What's going on? What have you been able to find? Just have a regular check-in time with them to help with that. Organize your digital files. Take a few minutes to organize your research files to clear folders, label them appropriately, and make sure everything is backed up. Oh my gosh, I've got backup on backup on backup on backup. I think I have everything backing up to like 3 or 4 different places. Because, if one goes down, you've still got 2 more. If the site goes down, I still have records and everything else. And probably about once every 2 months, I actually go in and download the GED file. And the GED file is the family tree file that that you can download, and it works with most family tree programs. So like with my ancestry file, I can take that and I've uploaded it into my heritage. I've uploaded it into what's the other one I've uploaded it to? Total mind blank. I have it on my family. I've had it on my family tree. Family Tree Maker is the other one, but that's actually software that sits on my computer, and it's not website based, but it does sync with Ancestry. So I go in every now and again, do the backups and everything like that, and download the GED files, upload them to another site. What's the other? There's another site that I have things on as well. And that's just a backup upon backup on backup. So if one site goes down, I can still do the research. And I'm doing that probably once a month, sometimes once every 2 months, depending on how much research time I've had during the thing. So organize your digital files. If you're going to, my thing is that I start with the main family. Like if I'm researching dad's side, I've got the Eakins. Then under the Eakins, I have all the different surnames. I will have all of my grandparents' surnames on that side of the family. And, there'll be an Eakins folder in there. There'll be a Cleve folder in there. And then I break those ones down into Eakins and Hopper and Cleve and Short. So I've got the trees going that way as well. But every surname has their own folder, and they're located on the family tree side that they belong in. And then I have then I can put folders within those folders as well, because the Eakins one gets a little full. So I might just go Eakins Thomas, who was my great-grandfather. No, my second great-grandfather. And then within that, I will have all of his children listed in there. And then within his folder, I will have his children's names all listed there with information on them as well. Just makes it nice and easy to keep up with. Yes, some of those documents have been scanned and are actually against the profiles that are on Ancestry, which then get uploaded to my Heritage, Family Tree Maker, and all that sort of stuff. Set your goals for the next week. When you're before you finish the day, set some concrete research goals for next week. Whether it's narrowing down a family line, obtaining a specific report or record, or reaching out to relatives to ask them questions. Having clear goals will help keep you focused. So as you're going through your research notes and you find those gaps, that's the great time to set your goals for the next week. Oh, I need to go back and have a look at this. Or I'm taking this project and we're putting it aside for a couple of weeks. And make sure that I have like a spreadsheet that has all the different trees I'm researching on and the dates that I go in and do some work on them. And then I go to my notes and I can see when I was last in there, what I last did, and where I'm at. Excuse me. You could even, if you're working on a DNA match and you've got it to the point where it's now finalized, or you just need to confirm some records, send that person an email or something, just to say, hey, just finalizing this up. This is the information that I have found. What information have you found on your end? I now have, through Ancestry on their DNA matches, I can now go in and use the filters quite effectively, because I now have things set up like these people have linked trees. Now I need to go in and find out how they are related to me. These people over here have already been sorted. They are in my tree, because there's a little button on the DNA match that you can go connect to tree, and it will connect that person in your tree. And then they get a little symbol on there so that you know that you've got a DNA match. Now, I have put that DNA match on people who are not matched to me through Ancestry DNA, but matched to me through 23andMe DNA match or Family Tree DNA matches. And then when I put that in there, I put a note on there saying confirmed through 23andMe or confirmed through Family Tree DNA. So I'm keeping my records with those as well. You could compile a family history graph. Last night we talked about different gift ideas for genealogists or for family to learn more about their family history. So maybe you can compile a family history gift. Do you want to do a calendar, a photo book, a photo album, recipe book? If you want to go catch last night's episode, and watch the replay on that on episode 1932, because that had we had a whole bunch of different gift ideas in there that you could do. So maybe you want to go and do that. You could be finishing up on transcripts. Maybe you've started transcribing some letters, some wills, or other documents, and you're almost done on one of them. Why not go finish it off? Then that one's done for the weekend, and then you can set up the one that you're going to transcribe the following week. So those are just some ideas on things that you can do. Oh, and finally, celebrate your progress. Yes. It's Finish It Friday. You've got some stuff out of the way. So you can take a moment to celebrate the research progress that you've made this week, whether it's big or small, it doesn't matter. And each step forward is important, and finishing tasks can bring you closer to family history goals. You may have even found this week, which is a huge celebration, that missing ancestor, that missing person in your tree that you've been trying to find, that could be the key to unlocking a whole bunch of other information that you've been looking for. I have one client, and we just need one piece of paper. We just need to find this guy's birth certificate, and it will unlock everything. We are 95% sure that the person that we have located that could possibly be his birth mother is actually, that could possibly be his birth mother. We've got everything arranged for her. We've found out all this history and stuff for her. But until we find that birth certificate, we can't confirm it. The birth certificate is the only thing that is holding us back. The records for the place where the birth certificate says they go up to 1925. He was born in 1925 and we can't find it. So we're not sure when his birth was actually registered. If it was registered, even though it occurred in 1925, it may not have been recorded until 1926, in which case they may turn around and say, well, it wasn't recorded, even though the birth was in 25, it wasn't recorded till 26, so we're not showing it online. But they may have changed that by now. They may have included it up to 1930 or something like that. So you never know. You just got to go back and have a look. So that's one of those things that you just got to do and go back and have a look and everything else. The other thing you may want to do, this one just popped into my head, is any documents that you have found this week, whether it has been through going to a place and finding and doing the research to get copies of those documents. They've been sent to you. You've found them online, and but you want to put them onto another tree, so you've got to download them and things like that. Is go through and upload documents that you've found during the week or you have received during the week. Scan them, get them into the system, get them in there with the relatives and stuff. Do all your backups and everything else. So those are just a few Finish It Friday hints and tips for you. Hope you found them useful. If you have any questions, please feel free to private message us. And of course, got to let you know, Networking Riches is coming up on Wednesday and Thursday next week. Yep, just a few days away. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. I know it is because it always is. I've been going to Networking Riches for over 10 years now because it was turned 10 in either May or June of this year. And I always pick up something new. And my absolutely favorite part is the breakthrough zone, where we get somebody in there who has an issue with their business, and the coaches come in and give their suggestions and everything else. And you see these light bulbs going off, not just on the person who is in the chair, because they make the coaching applicable to everybody who's there, no matter what business you're in. They try and make it, yes, it's specific for that person's business, but at times there are ideas there that apply to anybody's business. And even if it is specific to their business, always ask yourself the question, how can I make that work for me? So change the language. Not, that doesn't work for me. I'm not even going to pay attention during this time. That is the time you should be paying attention and turning around and asking yourself, what is in it? How can I make that work in my business? The brain, the subconscious, will start kicking into gear and start trying to find ideas and ways to make it work in your business. Some will pan out, some will not. Because you might say, that's a really good idea. How can I make it work in my business? And now the brain's going, oh, we've got something to do. Yay, let's go search. Let's go figure this out. So give your brain something to do. Give it some research to do. And sometimes you do have to take breaks from research to give the brain time to process and come up with some suggestions to get around walls, through walls, over walls, under walls. You've come up against that brick wall. So how do you get through it, over it, under it, around it? That's when you need to take the break and let the subconscious work on it. And you never know. Somebody might say something, you go, that's what I need to be doing. So go out, have a super fantastic, sparkling evening, and we'll catch you guys back here tomorrow evening at 6 p.m.